show you guys.
You know I'm a flow guy. I'll run with you.
This is Mainstream Metaphysics with your host, Nick Newmont.
Well, hey there. It is another Tuesday night in Southern California. It's beautiful. We're moving closer and closer to summer. Hi, I'm Nick Newmont, along with my guest, Craig Shoemaker.
I had no idea what I was getting into here. I didn't realize you had music, and you've got this big opening now.
All right. Well, we are...
I'm a step away from the Tonight Show here. I had no idea. Well, you got graphics with your name. This is impressive. My name, too. Look at that popped up.
We have a tendency to be graphic.
But we could get a little graphic. You're with the Love Master.
And we just might tonight. I've got to tell you that when Mainstream Metaphysics first started at LA Talk Radio, going on 5 years ago, Craig was my first guest.
That's right. That's right.
And
I haven't been back since. It says how well I did. I was a killer. I have me right back.
Well, the pay's great, right?
Well, I'm just hoping that you buy my kids dinner. They're waiting for me here.
Okay.
I had to bag my kids to be here, but I had no idea how impressive this is.
Thank you. This is
graphics.
Conejo Valley Talk Radio, the Newmont Consciousness Network.
I didn't know you had your own network. You need to peacock this stuff, bro. I just saw you.
Right.
I just saw you. Well, actually, at my show, we didn't have a chance to talk much, but. Yeah, you should peacock this stuff. I got my own network since the last time you saw me, Craig.
You'll have to have you back more often.
Well, now I will, now that I know how impressive this is.
Jeez.
You know, you haven't updated your photo in 50 years.
Yeah, that's 2003 on that book, you know. Oh, yeah.
It's still the same information. It's important with the numerology, right?
Right, it is.
I remember you taught me that. I had you on my podcast years ago.
Yes.
I think that's how we met.
Yes, because of Ted Silverberg.
That's right. Ted Silverberg connected us. My friend from 7th grade in Philadelphia.
Right.
Yes, and he connected us with my Western PA cohort.
And
the greatest meatballs ever, by the way.
Thank you for saying that. Craig came to an event at our center, and my grandparents had an incredible restaurant in Western Pennsylvania, Beaver, PA.
Wow.
Right? Didio's. And the recipe is unwritten, but some of us survivors have got it in our head. And Craig, you actually got on the phone with my sister back in Pittsburgh.
That's right.
And did this video about these people in California. They don't know food. We know food.
You do know your food. And she wouldn't reveal the recipe either. I can't get out of either one of you.
Well,
Is it one of those things on your deathbed you'll tell me? Because I'm the one who's most interested.
All right.
Well, I think. So, I mean...
You're assuming I'm going before you?
No, I'm not making any assumption. I'm saying if you do go before me, on your deathbed, can you just give me that?
All right.
And I'll give you the secrets to the Love Master if I die first. Okay.
Your book, Love Mastered?
That's right. I give you all the secrets.
Well, the Love Master might come out tonight.
Well, there's a lot of chance that the Love Master, because I am filled with love.
I
really am in a good vibration these days.
Yeah, you are.
It's very important.
I got to tell you that I've seen you perform a number of times, a lot, going back to 1995 at Comic Relief at Universal Amphitheater.
You were there?
I was there for all 6 hours.
That was a big night for me.
That's the one where Whoopi Goldberg is looking at Crystal and Robin Williams going, what is it with this? Because women don't do that.
Whoopi just texted me a few minutes ago.
Did she really?
Yeah, we're still tight, yeah.
Good.
She has a new book out. You should have her on here. She'll be impressed.
That would be incredible.
This is better than The View.
Right. Well, you're not going to get any that kind of talk on here.
Well,
I promise not to be obnoxious.
She'll go deep. She's a good person. She might differ from you politically, might differ from someone else politically. Right. I certainly don't agree with all political views from any friend, but this is the person. I'm not kidding you. She has been the most loyal of anyone in Hollywood my entire time here. And I mean loyal. She got me on Comic Relief. And I got to meet my idol that night. You know who was on that show? Don Knotts.
Oh, my God, yes.
Don Knotts.
Well, you do.
Barney Fife. And I did Barney Fife. And he was watching me backstage doing me when he was younger as Barney Fife. And he's sitting next to people said he was watching the monitor. And he turns to Steve Allen. I'm up there going, nip it in the bud, Andy. And he turns to Steve Allen. He goes, he does me pretty good, doesn't he, Steve? And then they brought him onto I had a press conference first time. I was like discovered that night. It was really cool. And who knows, now look where my career led me.
To the
mainstream metaphysics. Look at what that did. That was a press conference, and they brought him up and they stood him next to me. Wow. And I did Barney Fife, and I go, nip it in the butt, Andy. He goes, I can't do it anymore. You do me better than me. And then I ended up looping in the movie Pleasantville. If you watch the movie Pleasantville, he plays a TV repairman, and he was sick. He couldn't do a lot of his lines. I went in and it was him. I had to match the lips, and I had to, you know. So if you watch the movie closely, he circles an apple and a toastrator. It's my voice going, boom! What do you call that right there, bud? They're forbidden fruit here in Pleasantville. I'm your TV repairman, bud. That's actually me.
I have to go back and watch. I like that movie.
Well, it's funny because, you know, I'm my biggest critic, and that's the one time I have no criticism because I could not tell which was which.
Wow.
Yeah, I really immersed myself in that character. And to relate it to this, when I do my character work, it's very spiritual. It's connecting with the creator. And all the comedy is connecting with the creator.
Right.
Anyone can be creative if you do that connection, if you have that mind, body, and spirit together really in the pocket. And lately I feel really in the pocket. My comedy shows and everything, the coaching, everything that I'm doing just feels really centered and mindful.
Well, you were at the Canyon in Agora Hills a couple weeks ago, and I've got to tell you, there's no exaggeration. It was the best performance I've ever seen you do. I mean, it was like, I laughed so hard. You tried to get me to do the machine gun thing, and I was laughing so hard, I couldn't even make the noise. My cheeks hurt. Audrey and I just loved your performance. But I will say, when you imitate someone, you're not imitating. You're becoming that person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
it's a you know, and I do this when I do my you know, I see clients like you do, and I do psychic work, and it's just, you know, I'm clairsentient. I really tap into this energy. It's an energy source. You know how it works. So you just tap into it, and I'm really fortunate to have this long career because of that. What's weird is any comedians that like want to study with me, they think it's all about joke writing and things like that. I try to break it down. I take people through a system. It's like a system to get to know that genuine energy flow. And there's rocks, impediments, and dams that get in your way, but it's a flow. It's always going to flow if you allow for the flow. Open up, get rid of the fears, the doubts, the worries, and all that. And that's the secret sauce. I shared mine with you, and you better share the frickin' meatball recipe.
All right. So what?
I'm giving him gold over. He won't give me a frickin' meatball recipe that's 100 years old. Well, your grandmother, right?
That's right. In the interim, I will make sauce and meatballs, and I'll invite you over.
Oh, please do. Or just drop it at my house. Drop it at my house. We're good.
Boom! Those meatballs are dense.
Oh, they're so good.
Thank you. I have a funny question about your performance, and I thought about this when I was watching you, because I know I
gave you a long one, by the way.
You did. No, that's what she said. No.
Here comes the love master.
Here he comes.
I gave a long one, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm longer than the DMV line, baby. Yeah.
Well, and that wraps around.
That's a wrap. I can wrap it around. So, very good. You should be my co-host. My co-comedian. We'll be a team like Stiller and Mira.
So watching you the other night, I really thought of this. I took a step back, and you talk about, like, you live locally like I do. So it's one thing if you're performing in, Pierre, South Dakota, okay? But here, you talk about people that you know, and you've got family.
In my act.
Yes.
They're in my act. I see them. I go, oh, you're in my act. You're in my act. I'm warning you.
So
same in Philly. I'm going to Philly in a couple weeks.
Are you?
No, June 8th. I'm in Philly, and I'm outside, and I'm in Pittsburgh on the 14th. And
June?
both of those places I used to live, and I'll see some of the audience. Bam, a bit comes up.
Where are you performing?
So I'm warning you people in Pittsburgh, going to the Oaks Theater on the 14th, and Sellersville Theater outside of Philly on the 8th. I'm warning you.
I'll tell my sister.
Just don't know. Oh yeah,
my sister loves going to your shows.
If I give her tickets, do I get the meatball recipe?
You have to deal with her on that.
The Oaks Theater. I hope she's there.
What part of Pittsburgh is that in the Oaks Theater?
I think it's just Pittsburgh.
Downtown
pretty
Pittsburgh.
much, yeah.
All right. So
you don't say it right. What happened to this guy? He moves out here. He becomes like a California. It's downtown.
well, I know.
You're going downtown.
He's
See
going.
Permane Brothers.
He's good. That's right. In the Strip District.
Oh yeah, the strip district. Oh yeah.
He's going to the Berg. Now we're going to get the
I'm going to
Yunzers.
Berg now.
You Yunzers that are watching.
Oh, Yuns are going downtown.
Downtown.
That's the worst accent. Worst. Nah, Philly's worse.
Well,
Philly's the worst accent.
inviting someone to eat is funny back there. Jew?
No, yeah. No, I'm actually not Jewish. No,
Right.
Jewy. Yeah,
Right.
it's a whole other world. I try to teach my kids. They're pretty good at it. Water, that's how they say it in
Right.
Philly instead of water.
Oh, yeah.
In L.A., for my first year here, I was like, I'll have some water. They brought me a block of wood. They have no idea what I'm talking about.
Water.
I also say, apparently, according to my ex-wife, I say salt instead of salt.
Salt.
Salt. That's what she says I say. I don't hear it. People go, yeah, you did.
I'll have to listen
Or
for that.
Saul, for Saw, S-A-W, is Saul. I saw her. Now that I'm guilty of. I saw her going down the street.
That's funny. We all have those
Yeah.
You
lost it all, though, you damn California. You
because when I was
You
doing
turncoat.
I know when I was doing comedy in the 90s and I did some acting, I went to a voice coach
Oh, my
that
God.
helped remove the Western
No
Pennsylvanianese.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
I did.
He ripped away the 412.
I did, that's right.
What happened to the 412?
Yeah, it got ripped out.
Oh,
I can
man.
drift back in there.
I know you can. Everybody can. Every time I go back, it's a nightmare.
So
It all starts coming back. Did I say that? Here's a word for you. Did I talk about this in my act? The word Tournament.
well,
How do you say it?
Well-
so say it naturally.
tournament?
Tournament.
Yeah,
It's wrong.
tournament.
It's not a tournament. It's a tournament.
Tournament.
Springsteen doesn't go on tour.
Goes on tour.
He goes on tournament. Come on, dudes, we're going on tour. 1, 2, 3, fur. See? It's
Exactly.
O-U-R is not it's or. Okay? Tournament. Okay? So get that out of the way.
I'll have to remember
How do you
that.
say C-O-U-P-E? Like a Chevy. C-O-U-C. Huh?
a coupe?
Good. Some people say, how about this? C-O-U-P-O-N. Like you give a.
Coupon.
Okay, some people do the coupon. It drives me nuts.
And I didn't say
You-
coupon.
You don't go.
Coupon.
You don't eat vegetable soup.
No.
I have a lot of resentments with these words. But Philly's right sometimes, and they're right on tournament. All right.
All the way from Broad Street.
Western PA. That's
Remember
all they
Broad
from
Street Bullies?
Here's another mistake you guys make. It's soda. It's not pop. You call it pop, don't you?
When I lived in Pittsburgh, it was called Pop.
Oh, that.
Yes, a bottle of
As
pop.
soon as you cross the Mississippi, you drop that one too.
Out here, they call it soda.
Oh my God! If I was from your neighborhood, I would come out here and literally give you a wedgie or something. Something happened to you.
Yeah, I changed.
I'm sure the Pittsburgh Yinzers are not into mainstream metaphysics. A lot of my
Few of
friends think I'm out of my mind, but because I do live this really, really conscious life. I go to a
Right.
sangha every Sunday, actually conducted by a Philadelphian though. It's a meditation hill. It's called Meditation Hill Sangha. It's really cool, like to really get in touch with a connectedness,
Right.
with everyone, with one. Right?
Exactly. I do have a question, and
Yeah.
there's a bunch of stuff you and I have talked about and what you're working on. So at your shows, did you ever talk about, say, an ex, and someone goes back and tells them, hey, Craig is saying this in the show?
You know what I say to them if they have a problem? When I go, your support money that you got me for? That's how I make it. By talking about the truth.
Right.
So if you want to remove that from me, you're going to make less money than support.
Yeah, exactly.
And the two XYs, they got a bunch of money out of me based on me being funny. That's what they're attracted to, because women say they love a sense of humor. Bunch of crap, but they say that's what they want. They get it, and all of a sudden,
What do you?
I used to have a thing with my ex-wife, the recent one, where she would have a gavel, and everything I would come up with, any suggestion, overrule, overrule.
a gavel?
That's how I used to say it was a metaphoric
Whoa.
gavel. Like she would overrule
It
any.
sounds like a nutcracker.
Any proposal.
Wow.
Well, there's little that happens too. I'm sure Audrey's cracked ears just a few times.
That's part
He
of
won't
marriage.
say
It's
it. He
part of
won't
the
admit
agreement.
it. He won't admit it.
It's part of the agreement.
All right. Audrey's watching. Is she watching?
No, she's away. She's up in the Sequoias.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There's none of this in the Sequoias. You know, can't get reception in the Sequoias. So now we can talk about it. Anyway,
He'll be here all
it'll
week.
get back to her, by the way. Just like my
There
act
it is.
gets back to the exes. That's what
Exactly.
happens. It
Exactly.
goes down. They whisper it down the lane. But as a matter of fact, it's funny you should say that. I posted. I have a famous friend, and she taught my kids horseback riding. We ping pong at her house. I hang out with her a lot lately, and I posted her playing ping pong with my kids, and goes right back to her. And I made a joke. I said she hit my daughter in the head, put a welt or whatever, with the ping pong ball. It was a joke, Got right back to her. She goes, "You didn't approve that with me." I was like,
Oh.
try marrying me and then see what happens. Even more so. It's funny isn't it strange how our world, I talk a lot about this with my coaching, how comedy and laughter, humor is not at the top of the lists. It's like at the bottom. We all know grief, you cry. Or
Right.
You're sad, you cry. We all got that. Or you get angry. Fearful, you get angry. All those options. But laughter is the last option. And we're the first canceled. Say something that's off, that's not in the normal paradigm of thinking, the way we're programmed. And that's why I developed a program to deprogram the conditioning we have. We're all born love, light, and levity, right? We're born that way. We're laughing. Kids laugh way more than adults. And then they start programming you, the teachers, the parents, the peers. Just get in line. Just do what we tell you to do, and you'll get a reward. You'll get an award. You'll get a grade just for repeating something, regurgitating something that we find important. It's important that you know that the Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, the Nina Pinta Santa Maria. I can recite this stuff because I recite it for them.
Right.
It serves no purpose for me. Turns out it was a bunch of lies anyway. The guy comes over here and he annihilated entire civilizations. They don't tell you that part. I like to teach critical thinking. It's there already. It's there already. It's inside of you, but it gets tamped down by society. I'm here to unleash that stuff. Unleash who you really are.
Well, they tell kids not to question anything.
Oh my God! Sit down. Shut up. There's a story I never told you. That in fourth grade was like a spiritual moment for me. It was really like a very powerful. Well, I'll tell you what happened. I had no dad, and that's a little rough, by the way. Right away, no dad, and you're insecure, get beaten up, you have nobody to protect you. My mom was working a lot, so a little latchkey thing going on, and really fended for myself at a very early age. But I was tiny, and I used to get beaten up all the time and picked on, and we were poor, moved into a kind of wealthier neighborhood, right? And that's humiliating too. My mom wants to do the best she can, but here I am sewing my pants. I got caught by a rich kid sewing my pants. Only one pair of pants, sewing my pants in the bathroom. Just shame. All this is it was really rough. I mean, fourth grade, right? And one day I told a story that just came out of me. It was actually a story about my mom beating me, but it was a truthful story. And I watched this person, this one. Oh, poop, boop, boop. It's like light bulbs are going off. They're paying attention to me. They're listening. They're an extension of me. They're connected with me in a whole other way. I never could believe it through laughter.
Right.
Even a teacher. And the next day, and then I started exaggerating. She beat me so bad. I was a piñata. There was candy coming out. They're laughing. I go, whoa, exaggerate a little. I got all of it, and it was magical. It was an unbelievable fantasy that day. The next day, the teacher, she says, he's not going to do this from my class. And she took my hands and she bound my wrists behind my back with blue yarn and tied the yarn, hog-tied, and put me in a closet for a whole day. And she says, don't get off that box. And of course, I was defiant. I get off the box and see her thighs coming through the vent. Mrs. Stout was her name. I'd see these thighs with this skirt, this plaid skirt. She'd come in and she'd go, are you off that box? I said, no, I'm on the box. In the meantime, she says, you'll think about this. And you know what I thought of? An ethereal voice came and said, you keep doing this. This is your calling. You make people laugh. You listen to me, this source. That was the first connection I ever had with a higher consciousness, a higher power. It was unbelievable, powerful. And I haven't stopped. Haven't stopped. Still doing comedy since junior year of high school. You see the results of it. That's a long time ago. If you'd have noticed from my face, it's a little ways ago. My junior year of high school.
I got more gray than you do.
So, well, you have to use Just for Men like I do. I just did it 20 minutes ago. Knowing I was coming on this show with
Esquire shoe polish.
Millions of watching people. Oh, please don't tell me it looks like shoe
No,
polish.
no.
Please don't tell me. I have a little bit of gray.
You have some.
Little temples.
It's not bad.
Anyway, but that was it for me.
Wow.
That was it for me.
Wow.
And subsequent to that, I've had all these stories about me staying with it, saving people's lives. Wow. I mean, that is just...
Well, the phraseology that we've
extraordinary.
heard for centuries is laughter is the best medicine.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So why is it not employed more?
Right. Why are we not the pharmacy, the comedians?
Like, for instance, like the Archangel Raphael, which
Yeah.
is the healer, is also the Archangel of levity.
Wow.
And he's funny, has a sense of humor. So if it's angelic, then there must be something divine about it.
It's truly divine. Well, I do think called guided laughitation instead of meditation. I don't know if I've ever done it with you, but
Yes,
you're completely cleared. There's no... While you're laughing, you can't be depressed, you can't be angry.
Right.
In that space, they can't exist in the same space. I'm angry. See? I can't be angry at that moment in time. You cannot be. So why are we not focusing more on that? Now, one of the things I also teach is repetition causes intuition. So if you repeat, finding more laughter, more joy, more skills into that department, into really honing your skills as a everybody's a comic, so really bear that repeat, and all of a sudden, whoa, this is a much better way to feel. I feel bliss more on a daily basis, and it gets me centered to not be in that anxiety and stuff. I mean, we were talking earlier before we went on here. I've got some major stuff going on. It's scary, and which we should probably even talk about I love the term someone told me, wellness grifters that are out there. Isn't that a great term?
Yeah, I've never heard that one before.
I never had either. I use it all the time now, wellness grifters. And I've been on the other side of wellness grifting to a very high level. And it turns into cultish, it turns into these scammy businesses, and there's so much scamming going on out there under the guise of spirituality, under the guise of personal development. There's so many grifters out there, and it's very, very powerful. It's a powerful force, but we as the light, that's the only way to approach that.
Right.
And I'll go dark sometimes. That's what I have my saying. I'm stuck between namaste and kiss my ass, because I'm from Philadelphia, but I live in California. You can get these at CraigShoemaker.com, by the way. CraigShoemaker.com, you mugs, stickers, whatever. This saying is so appropriate to so many people because we try to live this beautiful, spiritual, loving life, forgiving, but sometimes we don't go right to forgiveness. We go, kiss my ass, shut your mouth.
Right.
This used to be even worse by the kiss my ass was another term. It was much more severe. But, it's just amazing to me how we don't focus on finding more joy and more laughter in our lives. We have to be, even spiritual people are always serious. They think you need to sit on a rock in Sedona for enlightenment. You were telling me earlier, it's like, you're a softball coach, meatball eating Italian from Western PA, right?
Martini invented.
You're not walking around, namaste, oh. You know those people I told you, the charlatans I told you earlier that I used to see? They do this all the time. I'm going, take the hands away. Shut your mouth. Let's get real here, okay?
Right.
And I'm holding space. You can't hold space. Shut up. You can't hold space. That's a big term everybody uses now. You can't hold it. That's why it's called space. You can't hold it.
It's everywhere.
You can hold this. That's what I say. That's what we say in Philly. Hold this.
Right. Exactly.
That you can hold.
Get a grip on reality.
Get a grip. Get a grip on reality. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's amazing to me, just these things that get passed around. And here's the thing I'd love to talk to you about. Is what I think I teach best in the coaching realm is I share experience, not my opinion. And what happens when the grifters start going, you need to do this. It's stuff they read and they're regurgitating. It's the same as I was saying at 1492 Columbus sailed Ocean Blue. It's the same thing. They just regurgitate, you need to be in a space of, whatever it is. Instead of talking about being telling us to do that. Tell us how you did it. I will follow your ass.
Right.
One of my great spiritual leaders, won't name his name, but sometimes he gets off on this speechy. I'm like, oh, I'm a little disconnected. I remember one time, years ago, he shared when he went up to an airport, and they wouldn't let him on. And I got to watch this guy who's like a guru type, like yell at them. I'm going, he yells? You know what I mean? You want to hear that stuff because we're all human. You want to hear that we go down these, and we fail and we fall, we rumble, stumble, fumble, and crumble. Everybody does. You want to hear that, and to me, that's the most effective. I actually just wrote to my ex-wife, who's really, really, really getting to me. The behavior is just so, oh my God, she's been a part of these wellness grifters. And I said, you know what? You know, she's always like promoting herself and dancing and all this. People go, yeah, you go, girl. You know what, you go, girl, all those things. You don't make a dime. You don't make a dime. It's just you and your ego. And I said, if you really want to make a lot of money, write a book like Byron Katie. Talk about your bottom and how you left the wellness grifters and you had a turnaround in your life, a spiritual awakening. That book would be a bestseller because you now have the bottom of somebody, and now getting rid of the fake and the ego and all the phony, which a lot of them are.
Right.
And now you have somebody that I want to follow. Is somebody that had the transformation, true transformation, not phony transformation. Come here, you know, all that stuff. She went to this, she goes to this, you know, phony engagement. It's all about pomp and circumstance. All everybody's about the show. Well, show me by demonstrating how your behavior changed and the results of that behavior, rather than telling me. Do what you're telling me,
right?
And I'll have so much more respect. And I tell you, she could be a multi-millionaire from this book, and then I'll get the benefits of support, of spousal support. We'll reverse it.
Well, you know what the truth is that, and the stuff that Audrey's material, that people that become good therapists from their experiences, not reading out of the DSM.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That's
because
exactly right.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
And if you haven't lived through certain things, then how do you have the ability, other than 6 years of education, to tell people how to help themselves and fix themselves? You know, it's not real.
Look at any sport.
Right.
If you never played the sport and you're reading out of a book, first of all, what kind of player is going to have respect for that?
That's right. That's right.
If you've been through it, including the failure, if you batted 200, not a good average, you can be a good manager, but at least you've been through that journey. You only made it to AAA, maybe had a cup of coffee in the major leagues, whatever it is. I'm going to respect you because of your failures, because of you get up and you're resilient, whatever it is. Not you're saying, here's what one does, hold space for a hit. You need to hold the space.
That's like Pedro Serrano in the second major league movie.
He's a friend of mine, by the way, really good friend of mine.
Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah.
Really oh my God, he's funny.
He's so funny in that. Yes, Serrano. And
that was beautiful.
He takes the beads and he puts them on the bat, because a lot of it is superstition, but it's really at the end of the day, it's about your genuine energy flow. That's what I tell people.
Well, he gets mad and says to me, he goes, all right, Jobu, I do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. And he had a breakthrough, you know what I mean? And that's how life works. You hit a certain point, and then you have a breakthrough or breakdown, and hopefully we all get better, and we all share these journeys with one another. That's the way to grow, not theories. That's what I keep trying to say to my ex, is stop with following this cult leader with theories. She's got theories, and by the way, the theories are horrible for children. Horrible for children. I mean, people don't consider the children when you're on this selfish, egomaniacal journey, when it's about you and taking care of your needs and self-care and all that. That can blow into selfishness and egomaniacal behavior. That's what happens. That's the results. If you just make it about you, you go to your Facebook post and you have people go, you go. Are they saying you go and considering the children when they say you go do these things? Are they considering what children are watching? I always say that the children are watching. What are you teaching them through your actions? I teach my children integrity, honesty, having fun. We have so much fun. We had so much fun yesterday. We rescued a dog, being of service.
Wow.
We rescued a dog, and the kids are so happy. These are the things I want to teach them, not theoretical stuff that I'm following some guru or whatever it is. There are no gurus, by the way. None. Nobody's a guru. You don't empower them. The only power is the power that we all possess,
Right.
the power of the light.
Well, and when we talk about spirituality versus the theories of spirituality is truth.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
at truth with yourself,
Yep.
then you are living your best self. And it's not about, I mean, any class we take or anything we do is great. That's icing on the cake, but you have to make sure you're not putting fresh icing on stale cake, because then it looks good, but what's underneath there?
And a lot of people are about looking good. That's what social media is, unfortunately. Social
about
media,
looking good.
It literally using filters. They literally use filters. What you're not giving your true self, and I'll talk about authenticity. It's another word that's just bandied about. Are you really authentic? If you put a filter on there, if you're just showing people, show us your dark side. Show us their discoveries you've had, your self-expedition. I'm going to follow you. Because I admire that. I admire people that have the courage to change the dynamics of life that bring you down and bring darkness to other people. No, I'm looking for the people that you don't need to sit on a rock in Sedona for your enlightenment. You don't need to clasp your hands or namaste or whatever it is. You don't need to do that. You need to be real. That's the key. Is that actually I'm disobeying my own rule. I'm saying, well, here's what you need to do. Look what I did. Look what I did. I need to do those things, and I have done those things. And one of the greatest spiritual moments of my life was when I wrote a 22-page letter. I asked the higher source to write this letter, and literally wrote it to my ex-wife. All amends, all mea culpa, all total responsibility, accountability. That's what I did. So I'm not going to tell you need to do it, but I'm going to tell you that's what I did. And of all the things I've done, and I've done this a few times in my life, where you let source guide you instead of ego and fear. So instead, I didn't say, I wasn't saying she was right to do a lot of things that she did. That's not what I'm saying. But I also didn't even mention it. But all I talked about is what I brought in, my perception and my perspective, and the things I did that were tacky and things like that. And I left the letter at the front desk in Maui. I was supposed to be there just with my 2 kids that we share, but it was my time with them. She happened to be in Maui, and I said, go read this letter. If you're into it, we'll be at the pool. If you're not, then I was clean. And she says, she texts me, because I'm halfway through the first page, and she said, I'm crying my eyes out.
Wow.
And when she comes to the pool, and we unite for the first time in a long time, and the kids got to see an unbelievable healing. So I'm not telling you how to do that. That's what I did. And I'm not saying it's my ego or anything. It's not me that did it. Again, I asked Source to write this letter, and it was completely allowing for her to come into a healing agenda. You know what I mean? So she can now heal as well, because now she's released from the shame, the guilt that she has to feel after some of these moves. So I went, no, it's me. And when you do that, when I do that, and I suggest other people do it, when you get into this area where you're just accountable, where you're fully accountable, like I drew this in, and I'm accountable also for the resentments. I'm fully accountable for that, and resentments are killers. And I let go that day, and sure enough, we spent the entire week together in Maui. Together.
Amazing.
Divorced. Games, charades. Her sister, she was visiting her sister came by. We're enjoying our snorkeling, beach time, restaurants together, laughter, and the kids said it was the best time of their lives.
Wow, amazing.
We gifted them that. And I say we because she accepted the letter also.
Right.
And she wandered into starting to make apologizes while I said, no, just take your time and do it another time when it feels right, Never happened a couple of years later. Anyway, but it doesn't matter. It's just,
well, when
I look at the kids, that's the reflection of us.
And when you are a mirror for someone in a case like that, and that writing that letter, you were a mirror, and it allowed her to witness your truth.
Yeah.
And actually, people, believe it or not, do feel much safer in the truth. if you're being truthful, then it's okay for me to be truthful.
That's exactly right. It's okay. And I'm not going to be attacked. And then she puts her defenses down because she perceives even me analyzing her. She actually wrote me the other day, can we not assess one another? I'm like, yeah, well, but the assessments, look at yourself. The assessments are the reason you split, because you were assessing me as somebody you couldn't have these journeys with or have these healings with on a daily basis. You assessed that. So I'm like, yeah, take a look. And she said, what I need to do is not drop the assessments. But I am willing to drop the assessments. But, obviously it takes two to do that. And then that was the one moment where that did take place. And these are many miracles that have happened in my life that I wish to share with others. Why keep it to myself,
That the word assessment is a very soft term for judgment.
Yeah, of course it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But she keeps asking me to be judgment-free. Well, she's not judgment-free. Her actions speak louder than those words. It's like, of course, she's filled with judgment. She goes around defaming my character, and I told you the cult leader's boyfriend threatened me. It's just heavy stuff.
Right.
And I'm doing my best to keep myself centered. What did I bring in? How did I bring that in? How did I bring this cult leader's boyfriend who I never met? How did I bring that in? These threatening text messages. How did I bring it? That's what I have to be conscious of all the time. Not easy, obviously. And here's the thing. This stuff's not taught. We're not taught this in school.
Oh, no, there's no course Real Life 101.
No, there's no evolution, self-evolution. There's none of this that takes place. So that's why we're here, to be guides for people.
Right, exactly.
A shift Sherpa. That's what I am. I'm a shift Sherpa. I'm going to guide you up the hill. I'll show you where the rocks are. I'm not going to protect you from the rocks. I'm going to show you where they are. Pathway up. It's going to be tough.
Right.
That's what I believe. I have a calling to do that, along with the stand-up. Stand-up still is. It's an amazing. It's like an orchestra. You were part of it the other day.
Right.
Bad trombone, by the way, you had.
Yeah. You. Well, we all did play Army as kids.
That's the premise of my bit. And, no one can do a good gun.
Right.
You know how the whole bit was written? I tell you, people out there, I have people do their machine gun sounds from when you're a kid. We all had a sound. It was like a fingerprint.
Right.
Everybody had his own. Oh, here he comes with, and then you have whatever it is. Everybody's got their sound. Use your fingers or a stick. And those are the raw ways we played. We didn't have remotes and all that stuff. So Nick's in the front row, and that was his.
Oh,
gun.
it was terrible. What I did that night at your show.
Well, now your jaw's on her. You're still bad.
Right. But that was like a sprinkler.
Somebody stepped on the hose. Anyway, the bit was written because I did mine to my friends at a bar one day, and they lost it laughing. Mine's horrible. You'll never hear it though.
Oh, come on!
Oh, you'll hear it.
Well, you're not getting any
recipe.
Yeah,
recipe will get. You will hear my. I will blurt it out instantly. You give me that recipe of those meatballs, bam.
But he doesn't know which recipe I'm going to give him.
I make good meatballs, by the way. I'm a bit of a cook myself.
Good. That's good. Coming from Philly, back there.
We know our food.
That's right.
I've been cooking a long time. I bet you were this way. This is the one thing difference between back east and here. Here, kids have things done for them. There, back east, you are forced to do so many things that make you an adult so fast.
Right.
Not like an adult, like you have a wife and kids and stuff. No, just learning how to do basics, learning how to problem solve.
Right.
Well, you overheard me before we went on. I called my daughter.
Yes.
She's 10, and what did I say to her?
Boil water. Don't make the pasta. Get the big pot.
Yeah.
Put not quite halfway.
Right.
And boil it. Now I'll be home a little after 7.
And she knows now how to turn the burner on. She knows how to put the water.
And she's taking the dog for a walk.
And she takes the dog for a walk. Exactly. So which are they going to learn from more? If I go walk the dog, hey, wait, I'll be home. And you guys stay on your games now. Go detach with your games. Right. No, I want to teach through positive reinforcement learning, but not positive reinforcement that's phony. That's another thing that's just phony. You know what my
Right.
theory is? We're trying to keep the kids from going to therapy and talking about us. That's why we're so easy on them.
Well, when you're talking, doing your show, and you coach Westlake baseball, and so I coach Westlake High School softball.
Oh boy.
So we're in the same
Yeah.
91362.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And when you talk, and I heard you say this a few years ago in one of your shows, where the mother comes into the
Yeah.
dugout
Yeah.
with the pizza.
She had pizza. Feeding her kid a pizza in the dugout. Had it delivered to the dugout.
Right.
Seriously, back in Pennsylvania, can you imagine any
Never will.
parent being in a dugout, first of all, and having a pizza delivered, second of all, and then feeding him, third of all, like feeding him like this out of the box and feeding this kid who was portly, by the way.
Oh God.
A portly kid who he would hit it to the fence because he had a little strength. They throw him out at first base
I believe it.
because he's got pizza weighing him down.
First of all, if I was that age, like 8, 9 years old.
By the way, me even talking about there's people out there that are offended by
Right, I
me
know.
telling a true story.
Well, it is.
They
true.
get offended by that. Even people get so offended. Oh, they always go, oh, you're picking on whatever. Yeah, it's a challenge. Can you challenge yourself to do a little better than that?
I told my girls during this past
Eat a little
season,
better?
yeah, eat a little better. I
Yeah.
told my girls at one of the practices, look, if a coach, a teacher, and eventually your parent or a boss is not challenging you, then they're not doing their job.
No.
I literally said that to a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds.
I coached football last year. I coached it every year. Flag football in California. I would tell the kid, hey, run a actually, my son just yesterday was told me, he goes, you're not a Westlake parent. And the Westlake parents do not like me. I'll literally go, hey, run a lap. I don't care if you're special needs. You're going to hear it. Everyone's going to hear it. Run a lap. You fart in the huddle, run a lap. You're not considering other people. Whatever it is, run a lap, do grass drills, push-ups, whatever it is, that they'll think about stuff like that instead of just, it's anarchy otherwise.
Right.
And they have no competitive spirit. I always wonder what they're going to be like when they're doing a job interview, right? They're across from the guy reads the resume, he goes, listen, this is a great interview, great resume, but we're not going to be able to hire you. And he'll just go, really?
And his
Mom?
And the mom walks in with pizza.
Mom, can you talk to him? Tell him I'm your hero. Not hiring me? I mean, it's.
Well, that's how we're setting them up.
That's how you set them up, exactly.
And it's when I first went to Westlake High School, and people that know me know this, the softball program was really, especially JV, was neglected. I came in and I had a good reputation. Thank you. Perception is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this ragtag bunch of girls there, and of course they have the visors with the W on there, and I said to them, from now on that W stands for winning.
Oh, good.
And at
Good.
the end of the year, and I would ask them about how are you doing, how are you eating, how are you taking care of yourself. And I do exit interviews with my players.
Wow.
And the 2 juniors that were aging out said to me, Coach, you asked us all this stuff, and we knew you cared about us. That's what they said.
Exactly.
And because
That's the underlying message. If I give that to people, I've done my job, and not just coddle them and give them what they want.
They
You
work
give
for
them
it.
what they need.
That's exactly right.
That's a big difference. And have the courage to do so. And I'm up against parents. I had a guy who almost got a fist fight in the parking lot
Yeah, I believe it.
because I didn't play his son enough. And, oh my God, it was a horrible argument. This guy's coming at me. I'm going. Then he compared it to, I said, I need an assistant coach to put them in, rotation. And I was trying to explain it to him. He goes, I'm a boss of 100 people. I go, what? You're going to compare that to 13-year-old kids, half of them with ADD or whatever some label or whatever it is? Are you serious? And these are paid people that go. These kids are not paid. I'm not paid. Right. Definitely not to put up with you. And this guy was ready to go at it with me. And the next time we got my Philly going.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. Next time, I think I scared the pants off him. Hope he's watching. I said, I have the lineup. And I saw him come. I go, look, there it is. There he is. And he's going, what do you want? What do you want? He backed off. He goes, what do you want? I go, I'm showing you he's in the lineup. I can't help it if he comes out of the game by himself. I can't help it if my assistant coach doesn't put him in. Okay, there it is. And, he's just backed off.
Right.
So instead of discussing something with me, this is another problem with the world that we live in right now. No one has courage to tell the truth.
Right.
I'm dealing with this, again, with my ex-wife. It's like, somebody tell her the truth. Somebody tell the truth. She'll leave it just to me because she's not going to listen to that.
Not at this point.
People don't want to hear truth. Narcissists. Have you had problems with narcissists?
Absolutely. I used to work in rehab.
Oh, wow. They're a whole other level.
Right.
I just had a partner. I was like, they have this technique that they do. And it's funny is I have play a little game. You're texting back and forth. I'll predict what they're going to say. It's all gaslighting.
Right.
They avoid, they deflect. They'll the passive aggressive thing, they compliment. You ever done that? They lure you and they go, I just told someone the other day you're the most genius comedian I've ever seen and they should go see you. I go, what does that have to do with this? You're trying to get away with taking my money. And I'm going, well, what's that have to do with? And then attack. And then deflect. I said, answer the question. I'm not going to answer it for you. You know what I mean? It's just this whole game that these narcissists play. They're geniuses.
Right. Because part of the game, many times narcissists have sociopathy. And sociopaths play a game. And the only way you can win at the game is to back away and not play it. That's the only way you can win.
And I did with this guy. I walked away, even losing money. Because I know, I'll give you a little story. So we had a business together, and the guy just shut me out. He wouldn't give me reports. He wouldn't involve me. He wouldn't give me the key to my own facility. I literally said to him, where's the key? A year went by. You know the facility. I told you about this healing system. I was into the system. And by the way, he's sick all the time, this guy. I go, you know what? There's an old saying, you're only as sick as your secrets.
That's right.
This guy was living a secret, like he wouldn't get back to me, to avoid and deflect and all these things over a year. So I said, I'm out. Then he starts going, you owe me this, you owe me this. And I started to argue with him. I'm playing the game with him. And I went, nope. Uh-oh. Walk away and watch what happens. So it was $25,000. He then took 15 of that away and was allegedly, still didn't get it today, send me $10,000, right? I went, that's okay. I'm taken care of in the world. I don't have to obsess over this money. I'm all right releasing this money. The next day, first thing in the morning, a complete stranger gifted me a $20,000 experience in Mexico. I just got back.
Same.
For visionaries, and it's like it was gifted to me. I never even met the guy, and I went there and I just brought all that I bring and all these new connections that lead to money. Because now I have coaching clients, now I have other things, other available, production that we're going to do. All this happened from me going there, but it took place first from the release. So if I can suggest anything to anyone, telling you what to do, but I did it, is let these narcissists go. Let them go find another victim, and they will find them.
Right, they do.
That's all they do.
It's what they do.
It's what they do. They live for this. They lure you in. It all looks good. Now I'm the king of painting red flags green. Oh, yeah. I say, oh, no, they couldn't be that way. No, there's no way. I go into complete denial with people, especially when they present themselves. Right. That's what wellness grifters do. Oh, they couldn't be. Yeah, they couldn't be dishonest when they talk like this and they pray you in and all this. Oh, no, they couldn't be dishonest. This is what I'm looking for in life. Oh, perfect match.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like No Names mentioned when you approached me recently and said, why don't we partner up with this one individual? And I went, oh, no.
Right.
Oh, no.
And it's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that. I had that instinct.
Yeah.
And I went in denial on that one because I thought you guys were hanging. I'm going, well, if Nick and Audrey approve, and it turns out you don't.
Right.
And you do see the same things I saw. So my initial instincts didn't listen to them. And I let the whole pomp and circumstance and whole play take place. They play you. And I go, they say the right things, and they're very, very clever. The narcissists are extremely clever, and I don't use the narcissists as a pejorative term. I'm not knocking them. It's just who they are.
Right.
And this is not a match for me. It can't be a match. And go ahead, go do what you need to do. But when I'm affected by it, my energy is drained, I'm out. So I released this guy, and sure enough, just beautiful things happen.
Much more abundance will come in. We have about 10 minutes left. So if people would like to meet with you, and you talk about Laughitation, okay? So how do people get in touch with you if they would like a one-on-one session?
CraigShoemaker.com. We'll do a consultation. I'll let you know my Winning with Laughter program. It's pretty extraordinary. It's a step-by-step you can use in life all the time. It's not only about laughter, but it's about restoring who you truly are. It's about deprogramming how we've been programmed with a conditioning program that is step-by-step using the acronym of laughter. Do you want to hear what it is?
Please.
Okay. Yes, so contact me. And another thing I'm going to set forth in the universe is I am going to team with you guys.
With Audrey and Nick?
That's right. And we're going to do something together where you bring your protocols and your systems of being and doing and stuff like that, and we're going to organize workshops that will develop into weekends. That's what I'm going to proclaim.
Yeah, we like the weekend stuff.
That's what we're going to do together. We'll get the right team. I did one before. It was extraordinary. I had 2 people from The Secret. I had musicians, comedians. Bring it all. That's the thing, is everybody's so damn serious. Bring it all.
Right.
So make it all encompassing where you're having a great time and then you're serene doing yoga. You're laughing your ass off and then you're getting something for your mind. You're singing and celebrating and then you have something that's very, very intricate and thought-provoking. You bring it all, because we're all mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
That's what the Wizard of Oz is about. Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion. And they all come together as one. And that's what I want to do in these workshops. So I'm putting it out there to you. We're going to do these in some area around here, and it'll be extraordinary. Extraordinary and magnificent. That's why I want to uplift people to magnificence, to be in that energy flow. Anyway, here it is. Laughter is the acronym. Love. You list what you love. Tell me what you love. Just first thing comes to your mind.
Life.
Now see how you smile?
Yeah.
Just saying what you love brings a smile to people. Now your energy already shifted. Next one is acceptance. What do you not accept? And that's where comedy comes in. So you base it in love. Tell me what you don't accept. Hard thing to accept. Like I have a hard time accepting people talking loud in movie theaters.
Limitation. People say you can't do this.
Oh.
I don't accept limitation.
Good. Okay. Look how proud you got there. You came from love. The next one is my favorite. I shouldn't have a favorite, but it's my favorite child. Is U for unique. What makes you unique? Like I have a long list of things that make me unique. Things I've done, achievements I've done, things I've done. Where I am, and whatever. What makes you unique?
Well, the funny thing is, my mom, God bless her, said years ago, when they made you, they broke the mold.
Of course, that's what they told us back east. They weren't saying it in a nice way either.
Right.
They broke the mold. But what makes you unique? Give me one thing that makes you unique. Something that happened, something you did, something you do. Pretty unique. Go ahead, tell me what it is.
Being a professional psychic that grew up in Pittsburgh, that's very unique.
Extremely.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Now, the next time anyone sees you, they will always remember that. If you bring something unique, like I coach someone that she's a twin, and she does this really funny thing that I developed it with her. You can feel each other's feelings as an identical twin. And one time her sister was in church and texted her while she was having sex with her husband. She goes, "Can you guys stop or just slow it down? I'm trying to time my hallelujahs around your orgasms." So I coached that joke out of her. Now she uses it, but you can use this in real life. You don't have to be a comedian, by the way. You bring the love, lack of acceptance, which is funny, that's conflict, and then uniqueness. You bring it to everything. So I tell people to have a satchel of stories ready of all these things. G is for gratitude. What are you grateful for?
Audrey.
Yeah, there you go. See the energy that shifts.
Right.
Being in gratitude instead of entitlement. We're so entitled in this world. The next one's also one of my favorites, humility. List your rumbles, stumbles, fumbles, crumbles, and tumbles. The time you fell, you'd hear it on my stage. I talk about self-deprecating things I failed. Even my marriage is a failure.
Right.
Right? But people relate more to failure than they do your successes and your bragging and stuff. I remember this guy, he married this famous daughter of a very famous guy. He's showing me his house. Look at this, what I have. Look what I have. I'm not enjoying this at all. And he said, I have a Picasso. And I thought to myself at that moment, I went, you know what would be much more funny and fun, and I would engage with him, if he told me he bought a fake Picasso and he got screwed. See, you're even laughing. That would be funny, and I'd identify with that. So you list your rumbles, stumbles, fumbles, crumbles, and tumbles, the time you failed. And the next one is T for truth, okay? All comedy, all great comedy is an element of truth. Our whole lives are about truth. So if you tell the truth and you pick something you've lied about or fibbed about or threw shade about throughout your life, like I went away to college and I told them I was all black belt. I was a black belt, so they would be afraid of me. I have certified lethal weapons. That wasn't true. But you're not. You guys are watching right now. You're not thinking, "Oh my God, he's a horrible person," because I admitted that truth. It sets you free, literally.
Right.
And E, that's another one that prevents us from the truth, is ego. Where can you look at your ego and really scrutinize it and think, my ego led the way with a posting, my ego led the way with a relationship. It was all about the image and what people thought about me. And R is reboot, rejoice, restore, re-energize, all those re-words that bring us back to our true self. And that's my laughter acronym. I just gave you that
cool.
for free.
I remember
That's my coaching program. I take people through. That's amazing. I just was on with a client on Zoom just before I came here, and this guy loved that I taught him how to tell a story and use those elements in storytelling. And then you have better relationships, you make more money, you have more love. All of those things take place, adding more laughter to everything.
It works. It feels good to laugh.
Damn right it does.
I'm telling you, when we went to your show a few weeks ago, that it felt so good.
Yeah.
It just, and you look around and people are laughing. You know, it's very contagious.
What an energy. It is contagious. That's why I want to do the Laughitations in a group, which we will do when we have these weekends. It's
also
amazing to watch how people...
If you ever want to do one of your workshops at the Newmont Center in the great room,
I do.
Please, let's have you there.
How many people can I have in there?
We can squeeze about 50 in there.
Oh!
Yep.
Oh, great!
It's not like upstairs in the old days.
Oh, I thought it was the old place. Oh, you have another room that's 50. Oh, definitely. I'm going to do this in a few weeks.
All right.
Let's get working
We'll make
on
that
that
happen.
as soon as I'm out of here.
And by the way, before I forget, this coming Friday at the center, Sandra Cindy Bloom is doing a past life regression workshop. There are still chairs available at 6:30 Friday night. If you have any questions, you can write here to me or call the center at 818-865-8770. Good stuff.
Is that it?
We have a couple
Let's
minutes
see what
left.
the people wrote to us. Becca. Hi, Becca. She says, love this.
And-
I don't know what she loves. Maybe she can write what she loves. And Cheryl says, I appreciate his high energy. Is that me?
Yes. Yeah,
My high
she's
energy?
in Houston. That woman's from Houston.
Becca or Cheryl?
Yep. Thanks for tuning
What's
in,
up
Cheryl.
in Houston? I'm not performing
How's
there
the
anytime
weather?
soon, but
When are you performing in SoCal again? When? Where?
Ice House, San Diego. We got the mic drop. You go to craigshoemaker.com. My whole schedule's there.
Okay. So Ice House Pasadena, right?
Pasadena. I got Burbank coming up. I've got Oxnard. I just booked Oxnard.
Oh, and I've
Not
been
Levity Live, a winery.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Yeah, we'll come again. And you're going to be in Pittsburgh June 14th at the Oaks Theater.
That's
So
right.
I pay attention.
And the Sellersville Theater on the 8th.
Where's that one?
That's outside of Philadelphia.
That's
it's a
outside.
100-year-old theater.
Wow.
And I think the
Amazing.
Oaks is pretty old, too. I love old theaters.
So, how are the Eagles going to do this year, Philadelphia fan?
You're the psychic. Well, I'm a Philly guy, so I can't
Right.
say they're going to do good. Although, no, I'm my kids call me Opto for optimistic. I'm very optimistic. So every year, and then, you get disappointed.
Right.
Well, you wouldn't know in Pittsburgh with all the winning Pittsburgh Steeler teams. I've had one Super Bowl in my lifetime.
Well, the one that, by the way, we have a minute. So there's a friend of ours, a friend of Becca, Stuart Alexander. He's from Philly.
Yeah.
Okay. Went to his house. So the day that the Eagles played the Patriots, I do Super Bowl predictions, and I predicted that the Eagles would win, that Brady would goof up, and he did throw an interception, and I said there would be a trick play, involving Nick
No
Foles.
way. No.
Oh, my
No way.
prediction on that Super Bowl was spot on.
Is this recorded?
It was posted on Facebook.
No.
And I do it on the show.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, do I know where I'm going for my gambling tips?
I had the Rams.
Philly, San Francisco tonight. Who's winning?
You're talking about the.
Oh my God! I got to get my gambling together. It's my one vice I have left.
Get your act together.
I'm getting my act.
You do have your act together.
My act is together. That's good, but the gambling's not.
No, I stay away from that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have that kind of luck.
Yeah, it's bad energy, but we all got to wander there sometimes.
It's fun. Makes things interesting.
Yeah.
This has been an interesting show. It's been funny and very heartwarming and very truthful. We're going to have to go in a second. Craig, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thanks for bearing your soul.
Please.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, please contact me, Craig at CraigShoemaker.com, and tell me that I left my kids with fending them 14 and 10 by themselves so I could be here. So tell me that it was worth it. I connected with you. It's Craig at CraigShoemaker.com.
And share this, folks. I will be back on next week. Thank you as always for watching Mainstream Metaphysics. Audrey is away, so there's no conscious mind tripping tomorrow night, but I will see you back here next Tuesday night. Thank you again, Craig.
Got it.
And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.